Welcome, guys. Another great week of college football coming up. We're going to break down 3 games for you today in all. In this video here, I'm breaking down Indiana at number 2 Michigan. Michigan, a 34-point favorite, a total of 49.5. First, let's look at how these teams have done. Indiana's played a tough schedule. They've played the number 30 schedule of the 133 FBS teams. They are getting outgained by 34 yards per game, which is number 100, and they're getting outgained by 0.9 yards per play, which is number 110. Anytime you're a Big Ten team and you're in those number 110 areas, you know that's an area for concern. Michigan's played the number 78 schedule, so we know they've played a pretty easy schedule, and we also know they've been dominant. Number 8 of the 133 FBS teams, plus 181.5 yards per game, and they're plus 2.5 yards per play. That is number 9 in the country. Michigan's defense, number 1, allowing 6.7 yards per play. Now, I've been on this Michigan team. Yes, they started the season 0-3-1 ATS. They've covered the last 2 weeks against Nebraska and Minnesota. I was on them against Minnesota. I played them in the first half. The reason? While they didn't cover any of those first 4 games of the season, they were dominant in the first half and just called off their offense. Beat East Carolina 30-3, UNLV 35-7, Bowling Green 31-6, and Rutgers 31-7. They still don't need to show anything. They've got Michigan State on deck, and they still have a couple weeks before Purdue and then at Penn State, where their offense really has to show what they're made of. But even with that said, there's only one way I can play this game, and it's with Michigan's dominant team. When you have McCarthy completing 78%, an 11-3 ratio, not forced to throw the ball because you're rushing for 185 yards per game and 5.1 yards per carry. The Indiana defense on the season allowing 156 and 4.7. That doesn't sound horrible, but let's remember they played Indiana State. They held Indiana State to 2.3 yards per carry. So when you look at the Hoosiers' performance on rush defense, they're allowing over 5.0 yards per carry and a D-line that isn't getting pressure. Besides that Indiana State where they had 4 sacks, in their other 4 games, they've only had a total of 4 sacks. The last few weeks, we've seen the Hoosiers' O-line struggle. They allowed 3 sacks at home to Akron. They allowed 3 sacks on the road to Maryland. And this Michigan team, 5 sacks against UNLV, 3 against Bowling Green, 4 against Nebraska, 2 against Minnesota. If you're worried about huge favorites in college football, I went to the database, guys. Taking every conference favorite of 30 points or more going back to 2016, they've covered 49.2%. So basically a break-even mark, not a positive, not a negative. FYI, in the Big Ten since 2016, 30-point favorites have gone 11-8-1, 57.9%. And FYI, when those favorites of 30 or more have played, it's actually gone over the total 65%. So Big Ten huge favorites say Michigan and the over. I like Michigan first half. The number came out 21.5. That's a little too high for me for the line of 34. So if that line drops to under 21 points, I will be on Michigan first half. I think the Indiana team total will be 7.5. I lean over on that. And for the game, I lean Michigan as well. Folks, this Saturday or Sunday, save $10 off any Saturday or Sunday package, the code RM10, and make sure you check out all these incredible videos from the great line of Wager Talk handicappers.